body is moving at the velocity v1. That is having a mass m, and it is moving at the velocity u. I said so, not v1, u. And all of a sudden, a force is acting on the body, and in time, small time dt seconds or delta t seconds, its velocity is changed to v. Right? Understand? The body was having mass m, and its velocity u. So what is its initial momentum? Initial momentum is equal to mu. Okay, and a force is acting on that body. Due to force acting on that body, in a small time delta t seconds, its velocity is changed from u to v. Therefore, final momentum is equal to what? mv. So we can write initial momentum. Initial momentum is equal to, let me remove this. I think you are following this lesson very well, right? That is this. P1 is equal to initial momentum. Initial momentum is given to P1 is equal to m into u. Final momentum P2 is equal to mv. Time taken is equal to delta t seconds. Delta t seconds or dt seconds also can, no problem. Right, okay. Again, change in momentum is equal. Change in momentum is equal to P2 minus P1. Change in momentum, final momentum minus initial momentum. Sometimes initial momentum minus a final momentum also can be taken, and practical conditions are a bit different. At that particular instant, I will explain you that why that happened. Okay, this is equal to mv minus mu also I can write. This is equal to m into v minus u also I can write. V minus means a small change in the velocity that can be taken as equal to delta u. Therefore, this is equal to m into delta v. Okay. Change in velocity is equal to delta v. So, small change in velocity is delta v. Why? Because this small change in velocity takes place for a very small duration of time, delta t seconds, when force acts on the body of mass. Yeah. Okay. Now, the P2 minus P1 can be given as equal to delta P also. Again, change in momentum. Small change in momentum takes place for a very small duration of time, can be taken as equal to delta P. Then rate of change of momentum, what is that? Rate of change. Rate of change of momentum is given by delta P by delta T. Delta P by delta T is equal to m into delta V by delta T. M into delta V by delta T. But rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to force. That means delta P by delta T. That is, force is directly proportional to delta P by delta T. But delta P by delta T is equal to what? That is equal to m into delta V by delta T. M into delta V by delta T is equal, that is, this is proportional to m into delta V by delta T. Change in velocity by change in time. The rate of change of velocity. Rate of change of velocity is equal to E. That is, we can write F is directly proportional to ma. F is directly proportional to ma, or we can write F is equal to a constant A into ma. Right? The system of units used for measuring m and a are such that the value of k is always equal to 1. So that kind of system only we are used accordingly as the system we have taken for measuring the other quantities, mass and acceleration, etc. The value of k is always taken to be equal to 1. In that sense, we can write F is equal to ma. That is, force is equal to mass into acceleration. Force is equal to what? Mass into acceleration. You understand? Force is a vector quantity, and this vector quantity has both magnitude as well as direction. Magnitude as well as direction. Right. Okay. It's a unit system. Already you know. A force has, very important thing I want to mention is that a force has two kinds of units: absolute system of units of force, and also what you call gravitational system of units. Right. In the absolute system of units, you will see that we have CGS and SI both. In the absolute system, in the CGS system, absolute system of units in the SI system, the force as a unit F is given by Newton. Newton is the unit of force in the absolute system. In the absolute system, that also in the SI system, absolute unit of force is Newton. In the SI system, the absolute unit of force is Newton, right? 1 Newton is equal to 1 kg meter per second square. 1 Newton is equal, it is denoted by the letter N. This is equal to 1 kg meter per second square. So 1 Newton force is that force which when applied on a body, if it is then if the act and applied on a body of 1 kg gets accelerated by 1 meter per second square. If a body of 1 kg is accelerated by a value of 1 meter per second square, then the force acting on that body is equal to 1 Newton. So this is absolute unit of force in the SI system. Next is CGS unit in the absolute unit of force in the CGS system is, right? Absolute unit of force in the CGS system is Dian. Dian. 1 Dian is equal to gram centimeter per second square. Gram centimeter per second square. So if force acting in a body is said to be 1 Dian, if a body of 1 gram is accelerated by a value of 1 centimeter per second square, if a body of 1 gram acted upon by a force is accelerated by a value of 1 centimeter per second square, then the force acting on that body is 1 Dian. Right? There is a relation between Newton and Dian. 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 times. 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 times. These are absolute unit of force. One is Newton and the other is Dian. Newton is in the SI system and Dian is in the CJ system. Both these units are called units in the absolute unit of force. Which are absolute unit of force in the SI system or CJ system? That is Newton and Dian. Right? 1 Newton is equal to 1 kg meter per second square and Dian is equal to 1 gram centimeter per second square. Other units used are gravitational unit of force. Gravitational unit of force in the MK system is gravitational unit of force in the MK system is what is called kg weight. Kg weight is also called as or kg force. That is called as kg weight or kg force. 1 kg weight or 1 kg weight is equal to G Newton. G Newton, right? That means G into kg meter per second. G into Newton, right? Newton into G. G means the value of G is acceleration due to gravity. That is 9.8. Right. The other one is what? Gamma. This is the MK system. MK system gravitational unit of force is kg weight or kg force. Both are same only. 1 kg weight is equal to G Newton. That is G into kg meter per second. In the CJ system, that is what? 1 gram weight. Gram weight or gram force. 1 gram weight is equal to G Dians. G Dian. G Dian means G in the CJ system is 981. That is 981 into Dian is equal to 1 gram centimeter per second square. G into Dian. 1 Dian is equal to gram centimeter per second square. So this is about force and its units. Everything is done. Right? Okay. So this is Newton's first law, Newton's second law, Newton's third law will come after some time. After some time means I think that will be in the next class we'll discuss. Right? Okay. And dimensions of force already I said that is M into A. M into A means F is equal to MA. That is equal to M into what is a meter per capital meter per second square. That is this is capital M, L, t raised to minus 2. Right? Mass, length, meter length, and divided by time. That means ml t raised to minus 2. This is the dimensions of force. Dimensions of force is ml t raised to minus 2. What are the dimensions of linear momentum? Ml t raised to minus 1. So this is about force and also it's a units and everything. Next, one more thing I'll tell you, right? That means F is equal to ma. Therefore, A is equal to F by M, or A is inversely proportional to it. Right? If many bodies are acting on forces, and the forces acting on many bodies are same, constant, then the lighter body will have more acceleration. That means A is inversely proportional. If many constant force is acting on many bodies, then it is seen that the body of lighter mass will have more acceleration, right? So this is one more thing. F is equal to ma, A is equal to F by M. If F is a constant, then A is inversely proportional. What does it mean? That means when different different masses are acting upon by same force, equal forces are acting on different bodies, then it can be seen that that body having less mass will have more acceleration, right? Lighter mass is more accelerated. So this is another thing. Next, also we can say that F is equal to ma. F is equal to ma. That is equal to m into dv by dt also we can write. Because dv by dt. Or delta v by delta t also delta t tends to 0. Delta v by delta t is called dv by dt, differential coefficient of velocity. Right? So F is equal to, we can write F is equal to m into dv by dt. I'm writing on second. If no external force is acting on the system, acting on a body, then the body will be at the same position itself. That means this change in velocity is equal to 0. If F is equal to 0, F is equal to 0, then dv is equal to 0. That means the body will be at rest. Right? This is the fundamental law called first law of motion. According to first law of motion, when no external force is acting on a body, body will continue to be in its state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line. Right? So that is first law of motion. Every body continues in its state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line unless and until it is acted on by an external force. When external force is equal to 0, then the body will remain at rest. This is the proof of first law from second law. Important. Remember this. I am stopping this class today, and tomorrow I will come with a new lesson. Till then, bye bye. Thank you very much.